This is basic operation of a sand or glass or media filter. This one is a Fluidra brand, but we also have Pentair's and other brands. The valves are virtually all the same. They may look different, but they'll have the same style of handle and the same options around the top. They have a pressure gauge, and they'll also have a sight glass somewhere, which is something we'll talk about. So, to operate a sand filter under normal operation, it sits on filter. Okay, every so often, and every pool is going to vary, you'll need to clean the sand filter, and the way you do that is via a backwash. So when we're doing a backwash, we can see we've got filter, rinse, recirculate, backwash, closed, open/winter, and waste. Okay, so filter, what's happening is the water's filtering through the top of the sand. So it goes through the top of the sand, gets collected in fingers that will accept the water and don't take the sand, and then the clean water's pushed up a pipe in the middle and it goes back to the pool. If we have it turned around to, let's go this way, waste, what we're doing then is the water's coming straight into the valve and going out the waistline. So it's not being filtered at all, and it's running out to your stormwater or sewer line, depending on what the council's required it to be connected to. Rural properties, maybe just out into the paddock. Open winter, I'm in Queensland, we don't have to worry about this at all, but if you're in an area where the tank's going to freeze, during the freezing periods, and if the pool's shut down, we leave it on this. It basically just leaves the whole valve open and prevents freezing in any of the chambers. Closed basically shuts it off. There's no water coming in and out. You certainly don't want your pump running while it's on closed. We'd only use closed if we were trying to service part of the system and we wanted to use this as a shut-off valve essentially. So we're just shutting the water at this point. Backwash is how we clean the filter, and I'll go through that in a moment. Recirculate, generally, as far as I'm aware, it's only really used if we've got a problem with the tank of the sand filter, and what it'll do is it'll let the water come into the valve and go back to the pool without being filtered. So if you're unlucky enough to have a split tank or some issue with it, we can still run your pump and bypass the tank if there's a problem with it. And then we have rinse, which is part of the backwash procedure, which I'll run through now. So we have our pressure gauge. Every system's going to start up on a different pressure, so it won't start to 100 and make its way to 200. Could be anywhere. After a certain period, when the filter's dirty, we're going to notice that pressure gauge has climbed, and it's telling you it's due to have a backwash done, or to clean the sand in the sand filter, which is what we call a backwash. And the way we do that, whenever we touch this valve, we have the pump turned off. So you shut the pump down, we turn, once again, one hand, so I'm just turn it around. We turn it around to backwash, and we let it run. So what's happening when we're backwashing is water's going down a pipe through the sand. It's not actually, the water's inside the pipe, it's going through the sand, comes out the fingers at the bottom of the sand filter, comes back up, and it lifts all the debris that it's filtered out and it throws it out to waste. And that's going to go, once again, down your approved waistline, so sewer, stormwater, big blocks, maybe just a paddock. We're going to let that run for a couple of minutes, and what we're going to see is this is going to get really dirty. This is to give us an indication of how dirty the water is that we're pumping out. So we want to backwash it until this becomes clear. Usually a couple of minutes, could be more. Once that comes clear and we're happy we've done a big enough backwash, we turn the pump off again, and we're going to move this handle around to rinse. So just bear with me. Now it's on rinse. The purpose of rinse, so after the backwash procedure, we may still have some dirty water in the pipe system, and we don't want to pump that dirty water back into the pool. You get a big puff of a cloud coming back in, which isn't what we're after. So we want to send that out to waste as well. So on rinse, the water is actually going to go through the filter, get collected in the bottom, come up the pipe, but instead of going back to the pool, it's going out to waste. So it just gets rid of that last bit of dirty water. We give that about 30 seconds. Turn your pump off once again, and then we move it back around to filter. We turn it on. After you've done a backwash, it's always a good idea to, especially the first couple of times, make note of when your system's just running normally. We know it's just been cleaned. Make note or even a little mark as to where the needle is, so we can see where it started, and as it climbs, we can tell if we're going to have to do a backwash. But that's basically it. That's how to clean a sand filter. You'll do it. You know, some people do it once a month. It just depends. Every pool's different. So that's it. That's the basic operation of your sand filter.